And we're back with part 2 of this, not really, yeah, I guess review. It's mostly um, thoughts, whatever, vlog. By the way, if you're watching this before you see the first part of this video, spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, this movie, Friday the 13th Part 2, turn it off, go watch it, and come back. Getting back to what I was talking about, the kids in this movie, there's only one person that I kind of don't like, and that's, I can't remember her character's name, but she has a dog named Muffin. She has this weird stalkerific guy that like shoots her in the butt with like a slingshot and stealing her clothes when she's going for a dip. It's kind of a dick. I don't. Apparently, we're supposed to think he's cool, but he just seems like an asshole douche. And I like it when he gets killed because he was. But I guess he does a good job playing an asshole. I guess that's his job. So he played his part well. I like Paul in this. Some people don't like him, thinking he's just too uptight. He's a little uptight in the beginning, but you know he has to be the boss. He can't just be buddies with everybody on this campsite with everybody. So, and the one bullshit thing of this movie that I just think, or one, I think it needed more bodies. But then again, I was thinking maybe they didn't have the budget to shoot some really good kill scenes in the movie. So maybe that's why there's not such a big body count. I was kind of hoping to be a lot more, because when you see the movie, there's like a ton of fucking young adults, counselors at the very beginning, you know, gathering around for an orientation, and like, holy shit, Jason's gonna kill a lot of people. And that's what I saw it when I first saw it. But yeah, it's. But yeah, get back to what I was saying. I lost train of thought there. So maybe it's because they didn't have the budget to shoot a bunch of death scenes, really good death scenes with a bunch of kids. That's why they, quarter of the way or halfway through the movie, they split up. A group of kids go to town to party for the last night, and then the other group of kids stay behind and get slaughtered. So that kind of sucks. And there's a jokester guy, and usually the jokester always dies in these movies. And I just think he should have. I just don't think he should have stayed at the bar and survived. I think he should have met his demise. Didn't hate the character. I thought he was funny at times, but still, it's just like, no, you should have been killed in this movie. But that's my own opinion. Who else? Someone else. I can't think of that person's name off the top of my head. But, yeah, I didn't come to appreciate this film until much later. Like I said, I was too scared to watch this as a kid. And second, I wasn't too happy that Jason didn't have a hockey mask. So, I never really went around this one, but I've seen it from time to time, little clips here and there, but never from start to finish because I'd chicken out. It wasn't until 2002, I was a senior in high school. My friend Travis, we called him Chewy, he and I talked horror movies every single day in class. And I just happened to mention that I liked Friday the 13th growing up, because by this time I really haven't rented any Friday the 13th films. During that time I was more interested in girls. Video stores kind of took a back seat for a little while during my junior and senior in high school. But he and I talked about it. He said, man, I got all the movies at home. I was like, shit, let me borrow some. He brought me the entire collection. It was on VHS, and I wish I held on to it, because, not that I'm one of those people that collects VHSs and watches them. I just want them just for nostalgic. That's all, because I really hate these movies don't have the original cover arts. You know, even on the new Blu-ray box set that's coming out in September, I believe. As far as I can see from the photo, there's no original cover art, which sucks. But it is what it is. At least we're getting the box set, so I'm not bitching about that. And we're getting a kick-ass documentary. And we're getting a sequel, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm rambling. Sorry about that. And, yeah, so I watched, there was like a weekend, I had like a marathon with these things. I started with part 1 on VHS, and, I watched it, it's pretty good. And I put in part 2, like, I never seen this from start to finish. I watched it, and I fell in love with it. I thought I wouldn't like it, because at that time, I wasn't that scared of this anymore. But I was worried, like, am I going to like Sackhead Jason? And I do. He's, yeah, I really, really love this movie. It's one of my all-time favorites. I'm not quite sure where I put it on my list of Friday the 13th films, but it's high up there. And I never get tired of watching this movie, and I strongly urge you guys to go and watch this movie. It's Friday night, why not? Or watch it tomorrow night, or the next night, whenever. But do yourself a favor. Go watch this if you haven't watched it yet, and go watch this. Follow along with me on this whole journey to Crystal Lake documentaries. Crystal Lake Memory documentaries. Or Crystal Lake Memories documentary. I've had about 3 hours of sleep today, so you have to forgive me. But, there's another thing. Another little funny thing I want to mention before I forget. I've always felt sorry for Jason at the very end of this movie. The scene where Amy Steele goes into Jason's house, which, by the way, is awesome. I just love that fucking house with the candles and the decomposed head. Oh my god, it used to freak me out when I was a kid when I see those scenes. But there's a scene where, she puts on the sweater and he comes in and he's fooled. He's thinking that's his mother. And she tells him to, get down on his knees so she can give him a surprise. He thinks it's like, I don't know what he thinks it is. He's on his knees. Makes me wonder what they did, but whatever. She has a machete in her hand, and that's my dog in the background. If you can hear her, I apologize. But she has a machete, and she's about to hit him. And right before she's about to hit him with a machete on the head, Jason has this, he has this one eye cut out, and he's just looking up at Amy Steele like this. He always looked like a dog every time he does that, and I just always thought that was funny. And even though he scared the shit out of me as a kid, that Jason scared me, and even though he doesn't scare me now, but even after everything he did in this movie, when he does that, I feel bad for him. He just misses his mom. I think that's why I related to my this Jason characters, because my parents split up in the very early 90s and didn't have much of a father figure around, so I was kind of a mama's boy. I think that's why I see myself or relate myself to Jason a little bit. And but anyway, I'm rambling. I gotta stop this again and go to part 3, so join me again if you don't mind, please.